Hey, seventh grade, welcome to day 3 of drafting your essay. Today, you're going to focus on drafting your body paragraphs. I put a picture of some colorful straws right here, and they're kind of bendy, right? So, the reason I did this is because I want you to be thinking about being flexible today, all right? If you're not flexible, you're just like going one direction and you're not maybe thinking of different ideas. Being flexible means like being open, right? Being open to some change. Because when you start to draft your essay, you might change some things on your map, on your plan that you've been working on. And that's okay. The most important thing is that you have the best essay that you possibly can. So let's get started. Today, the big questions are first of all, evidence. How do you quote evidence? How are you going to quote evidence? The other big question is what should be in each body paragraph? All right. So you've already begun mapping your essay. Here's what mine looks like. And then we are going to draft our essay in this box. You can copy and paste your introduction first. So I'm going to do that really quickly. I chose version 3. I liked my introduction version 3 the best. So I'm going to copy and paste that directly into my box. One thing to do is to indent. You can click right before the first word and hit the key tab, and that will indent everything for you. Okay. All right. So then hit enter once. I'm gonna make sure that this color is black. We'll change the color to black once we finish everything, so don't worry about that. Okay, so we're going to begin drafting our essay, our body paragraphs here. So you're going to be going back and forth between your box here and your map, your plan that you've been working on. Okay, so I've got my introduction. My thesis is Philadelphia was the largest city, and some odd things were happening in Philadelphia. So now I want to start writing my body paragraph 1. Okay, my main idea is some people felt uneasy. That's already a complete sentence. So I'm just going to type that as it is or copy and paste it. Some people felt uneasy. So I'm going to go back to my draft and I'm going to type that as my topic sentence for my first body paragraph. Some people felt uneasy. Sorry, it's so slow. Okay. Some people felt uneasy. Let's go back. What details am I going to include? My first bullet point says Dr. Rush sensed something odd was happening, something in the heat and drought which was uncommon. Murphy 6. I'm actually just going to copy and paste that directly. That's a complete sentence. Go back to my draft. Paste it. It's different color. I'm going to change that real quick. Make it smaller so it matches. Okay, I can fix that all later. Dr. Rush, since something odd was happening, I'm actually going to stop that sentence right there, period. I'm going to explain a little bit more. So I'm going to interpret these details, and you might do this too. Remember, be flexible. Dr. Rush sensed something odd was happening, period. He was worried about his patients. He was worried about his patients and thought there was something in the heat and drought which was uncommon. Okay. So you see how I added in, remember, be flexible. I added in some explanation. He was worried about his patients and thought there was something in the heat and drought, which was uncommon. That's the end of my quote right there. Make sure I put quotation marks. All right, and notice how I put the author's last name, Murphy, and the page number where I found that information, 6. And that's going to be my second sentence, or my third sentence, sorry. So notice that I had to put a little bit more information to transition and to make this make sense. He was worried about his patients and thought there was something in the heat and drought, which was uncommon. All right, let's go back to my plan and see what's next. Reverend J. Henry Helmuth thought something was wrong with the city. Many people drank, gambled, and went to the taverns instead of church. I'm going to combine those two bullet points. Remember, be flexible. What word would fit well between those? He thought something was wrong. Why? Because many people drank, gambled, and went to the taverns instead of church. So I'm going to combine that using the word because. So instead of copying and pasting, I'm just going to type it out. Remember, be flexible. Reverend J. Henry Helmuth, here's my quote, thought something was wrong in the city. Notice my quote, and then I'm going to put the word because. I'm combining two quotes. Because many people drank, gambled, and went to the taverns instead of church. Okay, and then let's go back and look at my last bullet point there. My last bullet point is just a quote. The city would feel God's displeasure. Murphy 7. I think to explain that a little bit more, I'm going to put who said that, and that was Reverend Helmuth. I'm going to say he said the city would feel God's displeasure. Just a little transition. He said the city would feel God's displeasure. Got that on Murphy, page 7. Okay. So I'm done with my first body paragraph. I'm going to skip a line and start working on my next body paragraph. So now that we've done that, I want you to be thinking, what steps are you going to take when you write from your map, when you write from your plan? Remember, be flexible. Notice how I quoted my evidence. Notice how I had to introduce some of my evidence. It wouldn't make sense if I just put in some of those quotes. You might have to explain a little bit, right? I included quotes and I included the name of the author and the page number. All right, good luck, and I can't wait to see your body paragraphs.